Okay, so let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So let's begin with a round of introduction. Okay, and why this introduction is important because I want to understand what is your education background. Okay, it matters if you have done your engineering in computer science, and it will matter more if you don't have a computer background. Okay, so just a basic introduction. Okay, and what you are doing currently, if you are a student or if you are working. So just mention those things, please. One at a time. Go on. Yeah, let's start with say Deepak.
Yeah, yes, Dhruv.
Yeah, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, so Dhruv, I have passed my BTech from Electronics and Communication Engineering and have been working as Oracle DBA in Capgemini for past 2.5 years.
Okay. So Deepak is basically he was my junior, and he got into the DBA profile through the internal job posting thing because he had shown his interest in the DBA domain. Okay, but he doesn't have any formal training in DBA. He just understands the basic concepts, and that's why he has joined this module. Okay. Okay, thanks, Deepak. Next, we can start with Saujanya.
Hi, sir. I have 2 years of experience as a SQL DBA,
Cool.
and I'm interesting to learn Oracle also.
Yeah, okay. So before we move to the other guys, I'll share my recent experience wherein I now very recently I have moved to Australia, and here I see that the DBAs, they have got both the skills, Oracle as well as SQL. Okay,
Yes.
but in India mostly what we have seen is in a team of DBAs there will be a separate pool of Oracle DBAs, and there will be a separate team of SQL DBAs. The Oracle DBAs, they will only do the Oracle set of tasks, and SQL DBAs, they will be primarily focused on SQL only. There are very few places, or you will find very few guys who actively work on both the technologies, Oracle as well as SQL. Whereas there is a completely shift in the understanding over here. Here you are expected to do Oracle as well as SQL. So
Yes.
that is new to me as well. Okay, but that's how I think we should be positioning ourselves for the future. That okay, we know Oracle, we know SQL, and nowadays I think we'll have to start learning things like Postgres, MongoDB, because in cloud we get to see these databases as well, right? So
Yes.
it's good that if you are already working as an SQL DBA and you have some interest in Oracle, it will only be beneficial for you. Good. So which company you are currently working with?
TCs.
TCS. Cool. You are working in shifts there?
Yes, sir. Shifts.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Thank
Uh, Next, Manoj. It was Manoj only, right? Oh, Mahesh. Sorry, Mahesh.
Hi, Dhruva. I'm myself Mahesh, and I'm working SQL DBA in Tata last 1.5 years. Okay,
Okay, fine.
currently I'm looking for Oracle DBA.
Okay, very good. Faik or Ayaz?
Yeah, hi Dhruv. Myself
Yeah.
Sheikh Farkez.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm working as SQL Server DBA in Atlas Systems, Bangalore.
Okay, cool. So a lot of SQL DBAs. Fine.
Mm.
What about Maniraj?
Yeah, hi Dhruv. I'm working as an system administrator as an desktop level support,
Okay.
and I have completed my BSc computers
Okay,
and
fine.
planning to move to DBA.
Yeah, good, good. Anyone left? I suppose we have covered everyone, right? Yeah. So it's good that we see all of us are working in industry now. All of the participants that I see here, all of you are working currently. So we know that having a background in IT is helpful right now. Amongst us, if there would have been someone who doesn't have an IT background, right? So those people will find it more difficult as compared to people who have got an IT background, right? So that was the main focus of introduction. Okay. So fine, I think we have most of the guys working on SQL, and then Deepak is working on Oracle DBA, and I suppose Maniraj is working as desktop support. Yeah, fine. Okay, so because most of us are, I mean, most of you are SQL DBAs, so you already know what is a database, right? I don't need to explain much about that. But still, if you just go and Google what exactly is a database, this is what we get to see. It says that in blank terminology, it will say that it is an organized collection of data. Okay, so basically if we have to understand the term database in layman's term, think of it as, say, your wardrobe, right? If you are an organized person, okay, now that term organized is very much important. Okay, if you are an organized person, in your wardrobe you will have, say, a specific corner wherein you have got your formal say shirt, formal trousers, a separate corner for your jeans, so on and so forth, right? So everything is properly organized in that wardrobe. And why exactly we do that organized thing? Because if you have to quickly open your wardrobe and find a specific shirt, it you should be able to find it immediately. It should be visible. You don't have to go through the stack of clothes all over the place, right? So instead of that, what you want to do is, it would be good if all the clothes are placed in an organized manner. Okay, so similarly, we take that example, say, to a bank's database. Okay, now let's take an example of ICICI Bank. Okay, now or ICICI Group. ICICI Group, they have got a banking business as well as an insurance business, right? So they will have a separate database for the people or the customers who have got a banking account with them. Okay, and they will have a separate database for all those customers who have got an insurance account with them, right? So that is how they segregate or they organize their data within the, say, the customers who have got a banking account with them. There will be further organization among that. Okay, or a structured organization of the customers, say, basis on the basis of which state they have got their bank account. Okay, what type of bank account, whether it is a savings account, current account, business account, whatever type of account it is. Okay, so that's why we say that a database is a organized collection of data. That way it is understood, it is clear. All of us must already be knowing that, right?
Yeah, Dhruv.
Okay, Maniraj, you understood this, right?
Yeah, Dhruv.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that is what a database is. No one will ask you a technical question that tell me what is a database first. Okay, it's just that you need to understand that, okay, this is a database. In layman's term, you have to understand it. That's all.
Okay.
Next is who is a DBA? Okay, so a DBA, whether it is an SQL database, Oracle database, or any other RDBMS system, okay, a DBA is someone who has got the highest level of privileges. Okay, now what do we mean by highest level of privileges? This person will be able to create a database. At the same time, this person will be able to drop or delete a database as well. Okay, this person will have the rights to create new users in the database. Similarly, he can even drop the users. Okay, so most, or say any specific activity which is possible to perform within a database, the DBA user will be able to perform that activity. Is that right? SQL DBAs.
Yes.
Right. So that's what is expected of a DBA, that okay, you will create databases, you will upgrade databases, you will take a backup of the database, right? So all these are high level privileged tasks. Okay, not, these are not supposed to be done by any regular users. Okay, so that's why a DBA has to have the highest level of privileges. Now you will get to see some organizations wherein even the DBAs, they will have different levels of privileges. Okay, they will have teams wherein they are the most experienced DBAs, they will have the highest level of privileges. Then there will be junior DBAs, they won't have all those privileges which can say hamper the database in any manner. Okay, like dropping the database, deletion of the users, those things, those rights will not be given to the junior DBAs. So you can still segregate amongst the DBAs as well, based on their knowledge, based on their experience. Okay, so that is also possible. But uh, just understand at this moment that a DBA is the highest, he will be having all the possible privileges within the database. Okay. So next is the roles and responsibilities. Okay, what you as a DBA you are supposed to do. Okay, so basically, if we have to start from the grassroots level, you will have to install, say, the Oracle database. You will have to create the database. Okay, once you have created the database, then you create users. You have to ensure that at any given moment there is enough free storage available for the database. You have to take backups of the database. Then Oracle releases a new version of the database, so the client or the customer will say that I want the database to be upgraded to this new latest version. Okay, so those are the tasks that you have to do. Okay, so some of these that you see, some of these as in headline thing I have mentioned over here, like creating the database. Maintenance is like backing up the database on a daily basis, ensuring the space management within the database. That is the maintenance tasks within the database. Then security is another major concern. Now, if these banks, they have got all the crucial data for their customers. Nowadays, you keep hearing about data breaches, right? So how does that data breach happen? Okay, how you as a DBA, you can take measures so that the clients or customers data is not compromised. Okay, so I have started working on a project wherein one of these clients, they had very old database, Oracle 10G. Okay, and their data got compromised. Okay, now at what level, we don't know, because they have just now come to us and they are asking us to upgrade the database from 10G to 19C. Okay, now just by upgrading the database from, say, this X version to Y version, it is not going to make the database secure. Okay, of course, there will be some of the new functionality that Oracle introduced in 19C that they will get all those features with the new 19c database. But then all these RDBMS companies like Oracle or Microsoft, for security, they will have some or the other advanced features. Okay, so in case of Oracle, we have got something called as a transparent data encryption. Okay, so we can encrypt the data. Okay, so there is something called as Oracle Advanced Security, wherein we get to see features like data redaction. Okay, so those are the functionalities which ensures security within the database. Okay, now implementation of these features is also a DBA's task only. Okay, so that is one of the responsibility of a DBA. At the same time, ensuring that unauthorized users are not able to access the data that they are not supposed to see. See, there will be applications which are connecting to the database. Now, applications, I mean, there will be n number of application users. Okay, not all the users are supposed to see all the data, right? Now, let's say if we take a company, I mean, organization structure, the data that a manager is able to see, if we compare that to the data that should be visible to a president, okay, there is going to be a huge difference, right? You getting that?
Yes, Dhruv.
Others?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
so segregation of the visibility of data. Okay, so not all the users are supposed to see or have an access to all the data in the database. Okay, so that thing is also going to be implemented by the DBA only. Okay, so those are some of the roles and responsibility of the database. Now, this point, who can join this program? I think what I wanted to say through this point was, uh, personally, I have seen a female who had done Bachelor of Arts BA, and she later on she had a break in her career, and then I mean, previously she was not working into IT. Later on, somehow she got to know that okay, there is this DBA module, and she got herself trained on that, and then later on she got placed as well. Okay, I worked with her, and she had tremendous knowledge on Oracle DBA. Okay, so it's not that only the people who have got IT background they can get into the DBA profession. Others can also get into it, but there is a condition that they will have to put in double the effort. Okay, because they don't have the background or say the base built for them so that they can straight away get into the database. Now, most of you are already working as SQL DBA and you have an IT background. In colleges, we have at least learned SQL. So we know what is a table, how do we write a simple select queries, those things we know. But someone who has got a commerce background or arts background, they won't know. Okay. So anyone can get into this DBA profession. It's just that if you don't have an IT background, it will be a little bit difficult for you in the beginning, but it can be done. Still, it can be done. Next is why Oracle. Now, based on the participants that we have in this group, okay, uh, so you can be an SQL DBA or you can be an Oracle DBA. Till the time this IT industry is going to be there, you will need, the companies will need DBAs. Okay, all the applications or anything it is, okay, it will be connected to a database. Okay, so there is always going to be a requirement for the DBAs. Okay, now why, now I have mentioned why Oracle, because I haven't come across any bank who has got their database which is non-Oracle. They will have a small module of it, a small database on SQL Server or something else. Okay. Now, this can be debated. Okay, because you are, I mean, you people are already into SQL DBA, but most of the Indian banks that you find, you will see that they have got their database on Oracle. Okay, and another reason for that is because they use this product called as Finacle. Okay, Finacle is very famous application which most of these banks use, and that application is designed by Infosys. Okay, so that application, it has been developed with a background, with the backend of Oracle. Okay, so that's why for all these banks or institutions wherein reliability is a major thing for them. Okay, that's where I think the factor between, that's the factor between Microsoft SQL and Oracle. Okay, reliability. If the organizations think that their the requirement of their database is, I mean, they need a more reliable or secure environment, then they go for Oracle. Although Oracle is much more expensive as compared to SQL, Microsoft SQL, still people will go for Oracle, provided they can afford it. Okay, and they will be ready to spend money only because they want a more reliable product. Okay, and that's why I, now again coming back to my personal experience, I'm saying we are getting many clients, small clients, okay, who have got an inventory of 15, 20 or 40, 50 databases on Oracle. They want to move away from Oracle. Okay, I'm being very clear about it, that they can't afford the licensing costs of Oracle. Okay, but these are very small players. Okay, they don't have got an inventory of 500 Oracle databases. Okay, and databases that are running into terabytes and terabytes of space. Okay, these are small time companies. But if you look at the banks, all of them are on Oracle, or most of them will be on Oracle only. So that's the point why Oracle. Anyone wants to debate on that? Or any other understanding on that?
Dhruv, just a question out of
Yep.
curiosity. Actually, like as we know that Oracle day by day is getting costlier and the licenses are getting too much expensive. So, like, will that be possible for the companies to stay on it in future? Like, I
See
don't think
that,
because till date we haven't got any alternative.
see, that's the thing. I mean, if your requirement is something that can be fulfilled by a cheaper product as well. Okay, if small time companies, if they find that their requirement can be fulfilled by some free products, okay, open source products, then they are moving away from Oracle. Okay, but there are challenges like they, those open source products, they will not have that kind of reliability or that kind of features which Oracle provides. Okay, so if there are companies who are looking for reliability or a secure product, or they want prompt support from the engineers, okay, product support I am speaking, if there are companies for whom that is a criteria, major criteria, then they will have to continue with Oracle. They will have to pay for whatever Oracle is asking. Okay, and that's how Oracle has been surviving until now.
Okay.
Okay, so next is the prerequisites for this course actually. So basically, if you see in industry, wherever Oracle database is running, 95% of them, it will be running on a Linux environment. Okay, there are very few Oracle databases which you will see running on Microsoft Windows. Okay, 95% of them, it will be running on Linux, AIX, Solaris, very few on AIX as well, but it still is a Linux based environment only, right? So one of the prerequisite is, or say a good to know thing would be your OS knowledge of Linux. Okay, so I suppose that as SQL DBAs, you will be working, or you will be pretty much comfortable with the Windows thing, right? Microsoft Windows. Any previous exposure to Linux environment, if any of you have it?
Yeah, actually, I do have in WebSphere application now middleware.
Yeah,
So I'm going to
who
work.
was this? Who's this?
Mahesh.
Mahesh. Okay, okay. Others? No previous experience on Linux?
No, no.
Okay. Okay, fine. So in our curriculum also, we will be covering Oracle DBA on Linux environment only. Okay. So I plan, I mean, once Shanmugh shares the curriculum with you, you will see that I have dedicated a few hours on Linux training as well, because this is a common problem that we get to see that, okay, the candidates are not very much comfortable with Linux, but you don't have to know each and everything about Linux. But because the OS is going to be Linux, your Oracle software, Oracle binaries is going to run on a Linux platform. So the more you know about Linux, it will be good for you. Okay, so it is like nowadays things are moving on cloud. Okay, so as a DBA, the more you know about OS, networks, and storage, it is better for us. Okay, so all of you are I mean at an early stage in your career, but whether you continue to be an SQL DBA or Oracle DBA, if you go on Azure, things remain the same. You will need to upgrade yourself on the networking concepts, the storage concepts, as well as the OS concepts. Okay, but for us as an Oracle DBA, you have to know Linux. Okay, so that is one of the prerequisites. But there will be very basic commands which you, once you start practicing, you will be able to remember them easily. You will get a hang of it, no problem.
Hey, Dhruva, but what about the Windows? Do you have any now SQL DBA? SQL DBA, there is like in what I can do, do we have any kind of such kind of any application?
I'm not able to hear you properly. I mean, if you were on speaker, or why? Did anyone else get his question?
Dhruv, Mahesh's voice is echoing a lot.
Yeah, it was echoing. Mahesh, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, actually, asking what I can do is, do we have any kind of application on Windows like in our SQL DBA?
Your voice is very low, Mahesh. It's difficult to understand.
Okay, let it be.
No,
Please
you
continue.
can do one thing, put it in chat window. Put it in chat window.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Mahesh, what is this Windows banned Linux? What is the difference? Windows and Linux, you are saying? Mahesh, see, if you're asking what is the difference between Windows and Linux, see, if you see as a layman, both of them are operating system only. Okay, like on Windows, you will have all these applications or softwares that are running. Similarly, it is like the what is the difference between iOS and Android? Both of them are an operating system for your mobile, a platform which you will be able to run multiple apps or softwares. Okay, so that is the difference. Similarly, we have got Windows and Linux as well. Okay, what happens? The major difference between these two platform is that Linux in industry, most of the places you will see that the graphical mode is disabled. Okay, everything it will be on, say a black screen. You will get to see everything. You will find people doing on putty. Okay, command prompt. Okay, whereas
Command
in
line window,
case of
basically, Dhruv.
Windows, it is most of the times a graphical interface you get to see. Okay, things are much easier to do on a Windows platform. Okay, because you have a graphical environment, whereas in case of Linux, you will mostly see that the graphical mode itself is disabled. It's not that graphical mode does not exist for the Linux environment, but in industries, somehow they prefer to disable it. And my understanding for that is the Linux environment, it is pretty much more secure as compared to a Windows environment. Okay, so and besides that, uh, from ages, I see that somehow the Oracle databases, like I said, that 95% of them are running on the Linux environment. Okay, so maybe it is that those two projects gel better together. Okay, so if we learn Oracle DBA on Linux, can we able to work on Windows Oracle DBA? Yes, you can definitely manage databases on Linux, Oracle databases on Windows as well. Okay, it's just that there will be a little difference between how you manage things. It's not that the commands will change within the database, but at the OS levels, okay, there will be certain changes because your platform itself has changed. Okay, like in case of Linux, if you want to see the files present inside a directory, you will not have the command graphical mode that okay, you click on C drive, then you go inside this directory, and then you will get to see a listing of all the subdirectories or files present inside it. Okay, you will have to manually, or in case of Linux, you will have to manually fire commands, then only you will be able to see the list. Okay, because the graphical modes are mostly disabled, that's why. Otherwise, uh, graphical mode is there in Linux as well. Okay, so the curriculum, now the curriculum is basically it I have designed it in a way that you should be able to crack a beginner level interview with this. Okay, uh, although it will not have things like clustering or the data guard features, that is which comes under high availability. Okay, but those high availability and clustering things are anyway not expected, or you will not be asked many questions on those things. Okay, the reason for omitting those things was if we cover that as well under this, the duration of the course, it was getting way too lengthy. Okay, so that's why we had to omit that part. Okay, and that's why we are calling it the beginner module. There will be a separate advanced module which covers that as well. Okay. So Shanmukh will be sharing the complete details of that curriculum. I have a copy with me over here. Just open that. We start with the architecture of the Oracle database server. That in itself will be approximately 4 or 5 hours at least. Okay, and that is one of the most important thing for you to understand. Okay, the more you are clear with the architecture, the good for, I mean, good it will be for you. Okay. Then we do the installation of Oracle binaries. Okay, how do we create a database? There are different ways of creating databases. So we cover that. Then we have a concept of PDB and CDB in Oracle. We discuss that as well. Then how do we start up and shut down the databases? Okay, there are different types of parameter files in the data. I mean, in case of Oracle server, or different types of parameters that define a database. The logical and physical structure, storage structure of the database, different file types. Okay. You see here, I have dedicated a couple of hours for Linux as well. Then managing this bit, you will be able to understand it is managing users. Okay, then from time to time we have to perform auditing activities within the database, whether it is Oracle or SQL. It exists for both the, I mean, platforms. Okay, then maintenance tasks like gathering statistics in the database, scheduling it, all that stuff. The next part actually covers the majority of the backup and recovery. So in case of Oracle, we make use of an Oracle utility called Recovery Manager, that is RMAN. Okay, so we use that for taking different types of backups like full database backup, incremental backup, image copy backups. Okay, so all that. And basically, why do we take the backups? So that in future, if say one of the file gets corrupted or one of the file gets deleted, right? Now you can't tell the client that that for some says this specific file got deleted and we have lost the data. It is not acceptable. So you should be able to recover the data in the database. So that's why we have to take different kinds of backups. Okay, so this bit, this second part, it covers all the backup and recovery concepts. How do we recover, say this X type of file gets deleted, a data file gets deleted, or a control file gets deleted? How do we come out of it? So all those failure scenarios. This second part is all about backup and recovery. Then we have got something called as export import in case of Oracle, wherein if we want to move a certain table from one database to other database, we make use of the export import mechanism. Okay, or say we only want to copy one user from say your production database to the development or non-production environment, we make use of the export import feature. So that also gets discussed over here. And once we are through with DBA 1 and 2, then we move on to a little bit about diagnosing the performance issues in the database. Okay, you as a beginner DBA, you will not be expected to do performance tuning in the database, but you should be able to generate the performance reports in the database, which the senior DBAs will ask you to do. Okay, they will ask you to generate the different types of reports, which they will make use to identify where exactly the problem lies in the database. So you should be able to generate those reports. Okay, so in case of Oracle, it is the AWR report. Okay, and some of the basics like if you want to identify a blocking session in the database, which user is blocking some other user. Okay, so those things will be discussed over here. Okay, And then some of the features like tuning advisor or ADDM, which helps you resolve a performance issue immediately in an easier manner. Okay, if uh, you don't have much time to do a complete RCA and the client wants you to just resolve that performance issue at that moment and do the RCA later on. Okay, then we make use of things like the tuning advisor. Okay, so these are the bits that we intend to cover under this module. Let's just see how many hours. I suppose it will be somewhere around 90 or 95, how much it is. 13 hours over here. So 13 plus 32 is 45, and 45 plus how much is this? 45 plus 45 is 90. So approximately 90 hours we want to cover. Now, this doesn't have those features like high availability, which includes data guard and Oracle Rack. If we include that as well in this, that means another 30 hours will get added to it. Okay, and then it would be too lengthy. So we decided to omit that. Okay, and we will be doing all these things on Oracle 19C. Okay, so we will be downloading those binaries, Oracle binaries, and we'll be installing it on a Linux environment. Now, it depends on you guys what you want to do. If you want, we can provide you a Linux host. Okay, Linux host as in a dump of that Linux host, the ISO image. Okay, we can upload it somewhere on the Google Drive, and you don't have to install Linux on your system. Okay, that is Oracle VM and then Linux on that. Okay, because that in itself is a tedious task. If you want to do the installation on your own, well and good. Okay, we can have a session wherein everyone will go through the steps. Okay, and then you will know that okay, this is how we install Linux. So that can also be done. And then once Linux has been installed, we install Oracle binaries on that. So we'll be using Red Hat Linux, and then we'll be installing Oracle 19C on that. Okay. Next is this bit is a slightly trickier thing. Now this current laptop which I'm using, it has got 8 GB RAM. Okay, and this is not enough. I installed this virtual machine, if you see here, Oracle VM Virtual Box Manager, and this, I mean, once I start running this, the whole system kind of starts slowing down. Okay, so uh, if you are going to continue with this module, I would recommend that you upgrade your laptop or computer to 16 GB RAM, because all these are, I mean, high resource intensive softwares. Okay, they will slow down the system quite a lot. Okay. The next thing is timing. Timing as in what time do you want the lecture to start? I'll take that answer from everyone. Weekdays, what time do you want it to start? Today it started at 5 p.m., right? Any preference?
Yeah, yeah. 5 p.m. is fine, I guess.
Anyone? Or 5 p.m. is good? Hello,
5
Yeah,
p.m.
fine
is
for me.
good,
Yeah.
am I
bro.
audible?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Dhruv. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.